We are grown adults who are capable of talking about this subject
I don't think we've proven that.
Way.
How far are we into this, Harrison?
Let me take.
Welcome back to the Multitap Chat. I'm your host, Devin, and today I'm joined by two people who've never played video games before.
No, not once.
Yeah.
I'm interested to find out what they are and what they're like.
I'm interested to...
And the discussions that go on
You came to the wrong show.
Oh.
We don't talk about video games here. Our whole logo is a video game. But you know who has played video games other than me is producer Harrison.
Hello.
He's still here.
Unfortunately.
He's still here. You guys thought he was an exclusive to the podcast, but no. He's going to be in everything now.
He's in everything now.
All over the place.
We can't get rid of him.
And if this is your first video, we have a podcast, by the way.
We have a podcast?
In case that wasn't obvious.
Yeah. We're trying new things.
Yeah.
I'm trying old things.
Guys, get off our back about it.
Because there's so many
Killed
people
one
on
of
our back.
those
Yeah.
depression things.
Yeah,
Oh, gosh.
Quinn's gone.
Quentin won't be in the
He didn't
multi-tap
make it.
chat.
If you want to
I know
see-
he's in the logo, but
If you want to see the human sacrifice, next week's podcast episode is going to be real interesting.
It's going to be really good.
real good.
It's going to be really good.
Guys, it's apparently 1990 again. Because apparently I've seen on the internet that people think Nintendo's censoring video games.
You know, I was really hoping in my heart of hearts that our first multi-tap chat was going to be about Walt.
I saw the notification
fits.
on my phone that Nintendo, with their authoritarian crackdown
Right.
on all media they find inappropriate.
Right.
I saw that, but I was too busy scrolling past games trying to find Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is
Right.
a more provocative name than I thought.
Apparently, you search Bonanza
yeah,
and you
and
get
I
all
just-
the wrong results.
I was holding down on the joystick, scrolling,
Yeah.
and so I was doing that about 5 hours today, and I
Right.
find Donkey Kong,
No.
but I wasn't able to look at the story. So fill me in. What's going on?
I heard Nintendo said that you're not allowed to call it a joystick anymore.
Yeah,
You have to
they
call it,
censored
you have
that
to
word.
call it a fun rod.
Yeah. That makes it so much better.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think we can talk about this topic. I've already had to delete 3 things. Ty can't control himself.
I
Sorry, I
haven't made
can't.
it past the first minute yet.
No, yeah. I was about to
Nintendo's
say.
going to censor us.
I
Yeah.
forgot. Nintendo, we're sorry.
Well, so that the first thought that goes through my head is like, okay, I've been on the eShop and I don't have like a child filter on it, so I know that that's weird to say that Nintendo would censor anything.
I also know that Cyberpunk is uncensored on there, and it is the most wretched thing that you've ever. Some of the most wretched things you've ever seen are in Cyberpunk.
Was a debut title. Nintendo
Yeah.
had it
Oh,
at
yeah.
their like preview event,
Yeah.
and it was not censored.
So to be specific, why don't you catch us up on,
Okay, so
on what
basically-
we're talking about being censored?
The game Dispatch had a Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 release. It came out on both platforms, and some fans noticed that the content safe mode that exists in the PC game was just enabled on all the time, and you couldn't turn it off.
I like that you're like some eagle-eyed fans may have noticed.
Some
that
people
you
may have
can't
noticed.
See any boobies?
You can't see anything that you can't see on the Food Network.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing is like,
You're watching the wrong Food Network.
I haven't been on the Food Network in a while.
After dark.
It's
is
2025 now.
It's
Guy
ancient
Fieri
aliens.
does some things.
That's right.
It's ancient alien.
Not
so
Fieri.
It's everything.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
True.
Exactly.
No, but that's the thing is that I had never heard of Dispatch before, and I had no
You definitely
clue.
have, because I told you when I got it
Yeah.
and that I was enjoying it.
I don't listen when you talk
No,
though,
clearly
so
not.
that's. I think maybe is it the one that's about superheroes? Yeah. Okay. So I had no clue what the content in the game was, but something smelled fishy that I was like, wait, why would they? No. Yeah. Okay. Something was off. There we go. That's a better term. Something was off.
Thank you, Mr. Nintendo.
Yeah, I like how this is our most sexually charged episode, and Quentin's not here. So
I know.
It's the only way it's
That's the only way it's
That's the
allowed.
only
it's
way
possible.
Because
possible,
here's the thing, we are grown adults who are capable of talking about
I
this
don't think we've
subject
proven
in
that. I don't think we've proven that.
dignified way.
How far are we into this, Harrison?
Let me take a second shot here and what?
Yeah,
this
we're
is
not.
possible. We know when to stop the joke.
Yeah.
There you go. We're
Very
done.
serious.
No, so something smelled of fish But I was like,
That made it worse.
no, so like I was like, they haven't censored literally anything on the eShop up to this point. It makes no sense. And then lo and behold, the international version of the game comes out on other platforms in Japan, and guess what? Censored mode is locked on.
Yeah.
I think also, I could be wrong, editor me, see if I'm right about this. I think also South Korea had a similar version or something.
Probably.
But basically, the idea is that to abide by international law, in certain areas like Japan, they locked their filter on.
Yeah.
And Nintendo doesn't usually have multiple SKUs for their games. They just have one SKU because the Switch 2 is region free.
Well, it's up to to be
the
clear,
developer.
it's up to the developer because Cyberpunk is also censored in Japan.
And has
both
two SKUs.
violence and for sexual content. And it has two different SKUs. It's actually a different game. And the way Japan's legal structure is in some other countries, you can't just have it in that when you're playing on a Switch, a Japanese Switch, it locks the content, but then when you're on other Switches, it releases it. It has to be like fully inaccessible on that cartridge in order to release there.
Because if they can just hit English and then...
So they didn't want to do two SKUs, and that led it to being censored on that platform. Now, I do think the reason they didn't want to do two SKUs is that the media that it's on is more expensive. And so they want to be able to move stock from Japan at some point to their distributors in the United States or in the UK or something. And that just makes it easier to ship around. So I understand the perspective from a business side of things. However, ultimately it is a decision that the developer made, not Nintendo. And I think that it's very interesting that everybody immediately kind of jumped on the assumption that it was Nintendo censoring things because they have this perspective of being such a kid-friendly company. Yeah. I don't think they've done anything to like shed that or fight against that. But they definitely aren't like catering specifically to kids, maybe in the way that they did during the Wii era. Which, I mean, even the Wii, they weren't exclusively for kids, but like they don't even. To me, all the advertising for Switch and Switch 2 seems aimed at trendy millennials or maybe older Gen Z. Like they're not,
and it's trying to it's more broad than anything else. They're trying to just hit as many, which I think
used to show like families and little kids playing their game consoles on the Wii era, and now it's like, and then for the Switch it was like 20 somethings, and now for the Switch 2 it's 30 and 40 somethings. Like they clearly are targeting the same people across those generations. The same kid who was in the Wii commercial is being followed, and that kid's name is Ant-Man. Paul Rudd. There it is.
Yes,
that kid's name is Paul Rudd. That joke would have been so good if I had forgotten his name.
40.
Yeah, if I wasn't pushing 40.
So what you're saying is the internet got
the internet
got a righteous boner
and
jumped the shark.
But you know what's shocking? Do you know who jumped the shark that shocked me the most? Is the place that I learned about the censorship. Was Kit and Krista. They blamed Nintendo. They said it was ridiculous that Nintendo did this. They worked at Nintendo. And they got me thinking about this concept that I find fascinating, is that like basically in my lifetime, Nintendo shed the idea that they were going to censor their third parties. So like if you're talking about because what's amazing is there's this big famous moment in time where like Mortal Kombat releases on Genesis and Super Nintendo. Nintendo demands that they take out the violence and the gore, and Sega doesn't. The Genesis version outsells the Nintendo version because Nintendo's, like very prudish censorship hamstringed their third-party developer. It's shocking that happened before I was born, before Harrison was born. And yet that reputation.
Thanks for carbon dating the two
before
of us.
young people were born.
For us kids.
When dinosaurs still roamed the earth, No, but that's the thing. Before the age of minute.
Before the age of
No, but that's the thing is that like that stigma has followed them to the point where people who used to work there, to be fair, Kit and Krista probably dealt with like censorship that Nintendo wanted to push or something while they were there, but I was an N64/GameCube kid, and the N64 had Conker's Bad Fur Day, which was second party Nintendo almost.
Yeah.
We had Eternal Darkness
GameCube had the
and
Eternal
like
Darkness.
Resident Evil. Nintendo has not censored their third-party developers in my lifetime.
I don't even just think it's the censorship thing. I think Nintendo's just kind of low-hanging fruit because I'm constantly seeing somebody go
That's
like,
sad,
I can't believe Nintendo did this thing. And then
Yeah.
it'll come out and it's like, oh, that was actually Game Freak and Nintendo didn't do that. What are you talking about? I can't believe that this thing happened at Nintendo. And it's like, oh, that was a contractor working for them. Like, you know,
Right.
Nintendo fired a bunch of employees. Nah, a subcontractor let some people go and Nintendo hired some of them or something.
Yeah.
Like,
do you think that's what it's from? Is
Yes.
that like Nintendo is just an easy target right now?
I think they're trendy to target, and sometimes they deserve it, and sometimes they don't deserve it. Like I don't think this dispatch thing is on them whatsoever.
It just factually isn't.
It just factually isn't.
If the versions outside of Nintendo have the same problem, you cannot say that Nintendo demanded that they change something that then affected
I think that
other
is,
platforms.
The other thing is that if like that all released concurrently, that wouldn't be the conversation. Dispatch
Right.
is such a big title. It was so impactful to like gaming culture that for it to come out on Switch and then have not talked about why it was going to be censored.
Yeah,
that is a part of
They
it.
should have. They should have just
attention.
addressed it up front.
What's the developer's name of Dispatch?
they're not in-
Producer Harrison.
There's not like an indie studio.
As
they're a
Harrison's looking
smaller
that up
studio.
so that I can call them out. This is on them.
This is
Yeah.
on them.
They should have let their
at the very
fans
least
know.
communicated, yeah.
They're like, hey, the Nintendo Switch version is coming out. We have chosen to censor all versions of the Switch version, not just international versions. But they didn't want to say that.
Someone also pointed out that they
It
could
was ad hoc.
Ad hoc. Yeah.
Someone pointed out that they could comply with international versions by having the cartridge be censored and then offer a free DLC in North America regions only that uncensors it, and everybody would be happy.
It's a toggle that they're locking.
Yeah.
So
but
this
it can't be. But the thing is, to comply with Japanese law, it can't be untoggled on the cartridge. It can't. They can't include that.
Right.
But if they included it as a separate piece of code,
only available
that came on the internet,
English eShops.
only available on English eShops, they would still be compliant.
Yeah.
And that probably is what they're going to end up doing.
So I would say shame on you, Ad Hoc, for not letting your fans know.
Talk to your fans, guys.
That like, hey, because like I was listening to GVG briefly talk about it. I didn't get to watch all their videos, but I believe the guy on there named Brandon, because I've never played Dispatch, but he said he was like, Dispatch is one of the most like graphic games that I've ever played. He's like, it's really graphic. He was like, so I wasn't super surprised when I saw it. And so I'm like, okay, if part of the theme of your game is that like we censor nothing and we show everything, and then you have a version coming out that you've been working on for months, and you're like, this is going to be censored. Let's not say anything to the fans.
Well, here's the thing. Cyberpunk and The Witcher are both considerably more graphic than
like I said, I've never played it. That was just what
but
GBT guy said.
Obviously, people were going to notice. All right, it's enough that like obviously people were going to notice, and they should have just communicated.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But that's my thing. Shame on, I hope Kit and Krista. I know you're fans and watch this podcast constantly. You're one of our 11 viewers.
This isn't a podcast, but correct.
Whatever.
The show.
This should teach you to withhold reaction. Reaction content may get the clicks and it may make you, but it doesn't give you the journalistic integrity that I specifically have.
Not everything.
And no one else.
Fortunately,
I don't react to anything.
That's a good way to
I don't
say
react
it.
to anything. Here, throw
you know,
something at my face. Do it right now. Throw something at my face.
we've thrown enough things.
Throw something at my face. I didn't react to that whatsoever. These guys can attest. I didn't even blink. All right, I don't react.
It is a big problem, but fortunately, it's all in the name of keeping.
Why would
inappropriate.
Why would you throw the Patreon subscription? This is precious.
Don't, Ethan, please continue.
Sorry.
Fortunately,
I was righteously angry.
that all of this censorship is in the name of, creating a utopian society where there's no exploitation of children, like glorious Japan.
Exactly.
And like glorious South Korea.
Correct.
Where nothing
I haven't
ever
confirmed.
happens
Editor me is
because
gonna check
they
on that.
have protected children so well from ever possibly seeing their parents playing a game when they were supposed to be in bed. And of course, we all know nothing bad happens to children in Japan. So, it's worth it sometimes.
We understand. Yeah, it's not Japan's fault. It's not Nintendo's fault.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
It's not the internet's fault even. That's what's shocking.
No.
Normally,
the internet is usually to blame.
You can pretty safely blame the internet. But I think, just in my opinion, this rests with ad hoc. That
obviously.
Because there's a larger conversation to have.
I just want to know why Nintendo is the scapegoat for this one.
That's an interesting question.
I'm not standing Nintendo. I'm not glazing them. They have tons of problems, but it does seem to me like they are trending to hate.
I think it is because of that disconnected launch.
Yeah.
If this had come out first on like Steam or something and been censored because of it, their conversation would be different. If it came out on PlayStation and it was censored, the conversation would be
I feel like if it came out on PlayStation and was censored, people wouldn't immediately target Sony and be like, Sony's forcing them to do this.
I agree.
It would lead to other conclusions, but then because it's on a Nintendo platform, they're like, it's Nintendo, they're forcing them to do this.
It's because people are afraid that Nintendo will go back to censoring. They're afraid that this is a company that is
because they have done
censoring art. They just aren't doing it at the moment.
Comfortable doing it 30 years ago,
Right. Well, but there's also conversations around. They censored the original Tomodachi Life. The original creator talked about program, and you can go and see it in the coding that there was programming to where
regional changes and stuff. Yeah.
There were regional changes. Originally, there was an option for people of the same gender to marry each other. That got censored and removed as well. There was literally, to be fair, there was literally open talk about how to get around it. That was not hard.
Which is a little bit different. You're talking
Not
about
quite
development process, not a game
most
that has come out.
Most companies have censorship in their development process.
I mean, that
to
happens.
Be fair.
Yes.
But
exactly.
Nintendo, it's been 30 years since Nintendo stepped in on a third party and told them you cannot do this and be on our platform. Because as soon as the ESRB became a thing, all game companies started to lay back on it.
Is typing about a game that they did this with in the Wii era or something is going to correct you. And I just want to say right now, I'm with them. All right, whatever you guys come up with, you're right, he's wrong.
The thing is, I'd be shocked if you can find it because
get in the comments.
I'm sure someone has gone down to the comments and has listed something.
If Gemini can't find it, nobody can.
No one can. No, but I'm sure some people will think Nintendo must have censored this because the Wii version was censored.
Yeah.
But I almost guarantee you that the publisher or the developer
it was probably
someone,
the publisher because if they think that their audience on that platform is younger, they're going to self-censor to cater to that audience.
I forget what the game is. It was published by Sega or developed by Sega on the Wii. It's black and white, but the blood is all red.
Mad World?
Mad World?
Yeah.
You're literally a guy who chainsaws people to death, and the Wii remote vibrates at different vibrations when you hit the bone.
What's wrong with that?
Nintendo...
were there boobies?
Nintendo...
I'm not understanding.
I've never played the game. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
But my point...
that all sounds completely fine.
Didn't they censor No More Heroes? Because
only in Japan.
In Australia, too.
Yes.
It's fast forwards through her horrifying story, and it's actually way funnier.
It is way funnier.
Again, this is a great example. I'm glad that you brought that up.
But they didn't for the American version.
Yes, Grasshopper did censor No More Heroes. But this is what I mean, is that Nintendo did not censor No More Heroes. Because Nintendo...
that was Australia wouldn't allow it to release.
So Grasshopper, the publisher, was like, we're going to censor it. Developers will do it.
Yeah.
But I just think it's fascinating. You can do something 30 years ago, and even people who weren't alive then will still blame you for they'll still associate you with it forever.
There's no higher authority that you can blame for these things other than video game companies. That's where all the decisions in our world are.
We have to spend our entire energy blaming these video game makers for the problems of society. Not enough titties.
Well, the Japanese government would never censor things. As we
Ridiculous.
all know, Japan is the land of free speech.
Yeah, right.
And it's America.
Nothing
America
happened in Japan. Yeah, nothing happened in Japan between 1938 and 1949.
We're gonna change the name of this show to the Sarcastic Chat.
Yeah, correct.
That's all we've done.
Correct. Well, that was a good topic. I think for our first.
I want to ask, guys, 30 years ago, when I was just 3 years old, I shoplifted some juicy fruit, and apparently, what you do 30 years ago will stick with you. I'm not a shoplifter.
You can't admit that.
I can never.
TV.
No.
You can't admit that on.
They're
that's
coming
on the
for
internet
us now.
Did
I'll
you
bleep
have
it.
to arrest you?
I'll bleep it.
Yeah, citizens arrest.
But guys, thank you for being here. If you like these types of topics, subscribe and check out more. We have a podcast. Go watch it. See you later.
Yeah.